And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, that's probably good for the camera and Twitch. All right, let's go take a peek in on the YouTube. Let's go take a peek in on the YouTube. Okay, YouTube is a go. All right, we're going to pick up with the pirate outfit that we started yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to pick up with the boots. I made a little more progress on the boot. So this is ready to go in the blender and start cleaning up. I think that's the plan. So let's do this. Let's pop open Blender. And we'll get our thing in here. We'll add the details to the boots. Add thickness to the heels, add thickness to the straps. Everything's going to get remapped. I'm going to not have a UV seam right there in the middle of that. I might shape that a little bit better. This is pretty good. So there we go. There's Blender. Let's get Blender over here. Yo, it's Rod Shelley. How you doing, Rod? What's up? File open recent. Seawolf boots. Oh, that's right. Your Seawolf outfit. Let's hide you. Let's come over here. Let's select everything and make sure it's all set to quad optimized. This is becoming problematic. It's the inability to select everything and make sure it's all quad optimized. Having it fight me on that. Oh no, dude. Oh no, dude. I'm not gonna do that. All right, we're good to go. Let's export this. And file export OBJ selected. I'm totally in the wrong project here. Pirate. Seawolf. Whip. And this will be Seawolf boot. I'm just gonna say boot. We won't say soul. This will eventually become boots. Dun 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 dun. Probably good. Let's see where we are. Eating a Red Baron pizza. Oh, nice. And Joe's having some. Most excellent. All right, let's get our boot into here and finish it up. Um, there's my import key. Yep, there we go. Okay, we're going to have strap. I should start making materials too. We're going to have strap. We're going to have sole. I'm going to have boot. We're going to have cuff. Let's start adding those in here. So we'll just start by calling you boot. Everything's going to be boot though. This will be boot cuff. It'll be bootstrap. Boot sole, boot midsole, boot heel cap. And I've got your mug today, Rod. There we go. Beautiful TNA is my mug for the day. Don't tell Charles. Moving along, midsole. I need a midsole. Do I need a wef? A waif? I don't know. I always forget. I need to look up parts of a boot again. A welt. A welt. That's what we need. Got to make more of those. Boot. Welt. Boot. Midsole. Boot heel. And boot heel cap. I'll say heel cap. I think that's going to be good for now. All right. Let's run through this and give them all different colors. I may rebuild the sole out. We may just delete that off, and then just reconfigure that. Boot stram, not stram, strap, strap. There we go. Boot cuff and boot. Oh, I heard a noise. Hey, it's CS Bond in the house, baby. Oh yeah. All right, let's come over here And then we'll fix up the cuff. I'm actually going to pop over into UV editing. Oh, you didn't come out nicely, did you? Actually, let's do seams from islands to start with. I'll take seams from islands for 200, Alex. Um, try this again. All right, that's a good start because now I can just select. Although that's not a bad shape for the sole, actually. So I think we'll just keep that. Control L. Come over here. Uh, Sole and assign that. I think you're my strap. And assign that. I think this is my cuff. And we'll assign that. I think that's good. I have a seam right in here I think I'm going to get rid of. That and that. Yep, let's do that. Let's clear those seams. All right, and National Old Stuff Day. Does it still say it National Old Stuff Day? Dang it, it's supposed to be National Cold Cut Day. Did I forget to hit done? Sorry. I may not have hit done to update the stream title. Damn it. Yesterday was National Old Stuff Day. You're by organizing 900 gazillion DVD, CD discs full of stuff that you didn't even know you had. You know, sometimes going through that stuff is like a really a cool trip down memory lane when you realize these old cool sites that no longer exist had all the coolest free stuff that you used to be able to get, or stuff you bought from sites that no longer exist. I'm not happy with that shape right there. I think I'm going to pull the whole sole down. So let's come over into here. And you found some neat stuff. Yeah, I know. Um, okay, we're going to pull the sole down just a little bit. I've got a weird that I didn't catch earlier. This needs to be expanded out a little bit because it's clipping in. Actually, I'm just going to expand that, make it, so let's tab into here. Let's select that. I'm just going to take the whole sole and bring it down a little bit like so. I'm going to pop into the sculpt mode and we're going to smooth this out just a little bit on the back there. Let me change my you know what is this? Here, let's get this out so I can see what I'm doing. Nope, tools. Uh, let's make some adjustments to smoothing. I'm going to lower that down. And we're just going to just smooth that edge off. Is what I'm trying to do. I think that worked. We're going to switch over to this and we're going to build this toe out. Interesting Photoshop files as well. Really? Is it your own work from Once Upon a Time? I'm going to hide that sole. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I want that. Then I'm going to hide the sole. Then we'll pop back over into sculpt mode. And then I think I can, no, you're still deforming. I think that'll be good. Let's go back to object mode. See, I think I tweaked that a little too. I'm just, we'll come into here. Alt H. And I think I'm going to tweak this a little bit. Yeah, we'll do this. We're just going to slide some of this stuff in and out. I think is that what I want? I think that's what I want. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull down the sole. We're going to extend that edge out a little bit. Then we're going to pull the heel out. And let me see, before we do that though, I'm going to straighten. I'm going to put the heel right through here. So what we'll do is we're going to kind of take that and we'll do a G stretch. So it kind of straightens that out like so. So that'll give me that nice flat. Do I want a flat edge on that? I think I'm going to go with a flat edge on that today. All right, switch over to face mode. We'll select that sole. We'll do an extrude. We'll pull that down like that. Maybe a little further. I'm going to select around here. We're going to pull that out just a little bit. So just do a extrude along normals and just pull that out like so. Excellent. Then what we can do with that is assign that to that. No, that was that's the midsole. This little, I missed. I keep missing. That little edge right there is the welt. I don't actually need this line in here, so we're going to dissolve it back out. Okay, let's smooth out our normals a little bit. So we'll just select everything, come back over into the mesh and normals, and reset the vectors. So I think that's kind of good. So I want to pull this out a little bit. So I think we'll do the same thing we kind of did with this edge here. So we'll just select the bootstrap. Nope. And then we'll do the Control F, extrude along normals. We'll just like take that out like so. I'm going to do a couple of little things. We're going to slide these edges. I can't see them. There's a couple edges right here. I want that one and that one. And I'm just going to slide those up that way. We'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to put a little bevel around these edges, I think. Did I get the right things? I did. So we'll just slide those up like so. All right, let's reselect the bootstrap. Note the bootstrap. And we'll expand that and we'll add that all to the bootstrap. And now I need to add some thickness to this. I think we're going to do a solidify on that, and then remove a lot of the interior. of that. That's kind of a janky shape there. I'm going to fix that. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's get the heel pulled out. There we go. And we're just going to extrude that out. Just like this. We're going to flatten that along the Z. Oh, I'm not. Switch back to global for a second here. I think I'm going to make that just a little bit smaller. I did say I wanted really chunky heels on this. So we're just going to scale that just a hair. So we're getting there. Yo, it's Tasno Pesno. How you doing? So I'm going to separate this. We're going to give it some thickness. I'm going to clean it up. Then we're going to bring it back and re-weld it back on for the cuff. I need a point like that. Yo, you cool cats. Need to hang out with the awesome salsa. It's Tasno Pesno. Yeah, baby. I haven't given you a sounder yet. One of these days, we will do that. I think this is good. All right, so let's do. let's separate off the cuff like so. I'm going to come out here. We're going to put a subdivision on here. It'll give it some. No, we're going to put a thickness on here. Or actually, what it's a solidify modifier, right? Generate solidify. That is way too much. We're going to say 0.003 to 0.00.0015. I'm going to go with that. That's millimeter and a half. Actually, we're going to back this up a little bit. I'm going to come back to here. What I want to do is I want to grab part of the inside of the boot too and use it as well. So we're just going to expand this down a little so we get a little bit of the interior of the boot. And now we're going to, I'm going to duplicate this. Yeah, we're going to duplicate this. Like that. Then separate the duplicate. Hide that. Okay, I'm going to tweak the normals on this real quick. Because I want everything to face. I don't know, how's this going to work? Layout. Nope. Where did my boot go? There it is. Select everything. Do I have you on face orientation? I don't. Okay. Select everything. Come to mesh. I heard a noise. Why did I hear a noise? What is that? Oh, somebody's rating me and I can't read that. Damn it. Ooh, co-official. Oh, Josh. Thank you for that raid, man. I appreciate that. I alerted you a little bit earlier. Just a little. How's the arting going? Everybody check out Uwu Co-official. Super cool artist. And does movie nights on Saturday, which I love to catch. Always some interesting films. I didn't watch most of the last week's film, but it was Carlito's Way. Um, I'm working on pirate boots. I've got it partially hidden right now. We're working on a cuff. This is part of an entire pirate outfit that I'm working on. Day 3 of March of Robots is done. Dang. So what are you going to do, like what, 31 days of robots? Is that it? Dude, you get, is it one of those things you get a different prompt every day? If you got anything you want to share, let me know. If you got an Instagram account, feel free to drop the link into the chat. If you dropped something into your Discord gallery you want to share, I might be able to find your Discord. It's possible. It's possible. No, it's not. I can't find anybody's Discord anymore. Who am I kidding? I'm sure I've joined. I just can't find them anymore. There's too many Discords. How do you find stuff in here? I think you do the Instagram though, right? Anyhow, I'm fixing normals on this thing. That's what I was doing. We're working on a cuff. We're going to give it thickness and something, something, something. Normals. If I reset the vectors, I don't want to do that. I think I want to recalculate outside. I think that's what I want to do. Normals, recalculate outside. There we go. Yeah, if you want to share, that would be awesome. I almost never have anything to share, but I know other people do. Other people are weird that way. Come on. Why are you so small, picture? Wow, that's awesome. Dang, dude, that came out so good. Ladies and gentlemen, Uwu co-official. Uh-oh, ads. Oh no, not ads. The word today was refresh. I see. I get that. Super nice stuff. I like the urgent memo underneath the coffee. Yeah, I'll get to it. But I've got hot coffee right now. Priorities. Looking good, man. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. Here, let's give you a shout out real quick. Um, okay, I'm gonna solidify this and give it thickness. That's what we want to do right now. So I'm gonna put on a solidify modifier on here. Which one to use my solidify modifier? It's under generate. That's right. Solidify. We are going to not go that far. We're going to go about that far. I think I'm heading the wrong direction. I want to actually go this way. There we go. That'll do. And then what I want to do is we want to actually apply the modifier. I want to tap into here. I don't need some of this mesh. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to select this edge. I'm going to delete that. Then I think we're just going to do this and this. Nope, I want to select, I need to delete this edge right in here. There we go. Now I think I'm going to select that and that. That's what I'm going to do. Yep, and we separate that. I'm going to come here and hide that. I want to combine this with this, and that gives me the thickness I'm looking for on the cuff. Yeah, that's the ticket. Although I think I do want to flip the normals on the cuff in here first. Let's do that. Let's pop into here. So is the rest of the boot? There's the boot. Here's how my boot's coming along. We'll mirror that later to fit both feet. And then I probably have to make it larger because we're going to fit pants. There are pretty tight pants, but I think I'm really tight on the leg with that. So we're probably going to adjust that. And my brain has stopped. That's okay. Seawolf boot. Let's hide you for a second. Let's tab into here. These normals are all. Let's recalculate all the normals. I got some that are, I think, are obviously pointing the wrong way, or I just used a different, or I just used a weird color. Normal. Recalculate outside. That did not go well. The strap's good. Everything else I want flipped. So that being the case, we'll just come over here and deselect the strap. And then we'll just flip normals on everything else. Like so. Perfect. Now I'm going to take this, that, and that, join them together like so. I'm going to, there's a little edge through here. We're going to seam, we're going to fill in this gap right here between these, that and that. And what I'm going to do is just do this, and I should be able to just do that all the way around. And it should come back around and up. And there we go. That is all closed up. I think that should be good. I think that is pretty much what I want. I'm just gonna add some seams here for UVs on this. And actually, you know what? We're going to make this material the same as the boot material because, you know, the way that actually works is they flip over, right? So I should have done that first. Well, let's mark some seams. I can get it after I mark the seams. So I want to select through there, there, and there, and we'll just mark a seam. And let me make sure, do I have a seam marked in here? I do. So I should be able to select just the inside like that. And then I'm going to assign that to boot. And then I've got this in here, and I'm going to assign that to cuff. All right, I think I'm good. I could put a buckle on here, but I don't know. I think I will. I think I'm going to stick a buckle right over here. So I'm going to start that with a cube. All right, let's apply my transforms, come into edit mode, scale on the Y, scale on the Z. Is that what I want? I'm designing this as I go. Okay, I have a thought. We're going to take you, scale you in a little bit, just kind of like that. And I'm going to put a cut in here. I'm going to put a bevel so I can kind of get that kind of thing going. Actually, I don't need a bevel. What I need to do is individual faces. Go Control I. That didn't work. Is it just I? It might be I. It's just I. But over here, we're going to switch this to say individual so it does that. All right, I'm going to undo that and do it again. I think I want it like that. And I should have done this too down here. Oh well. I think that's good. Then I'm just going to bridge these. I'm going to put a little bit of a curve on these. So we're just going to grab these corners and we'll run a bevel on those to make them curved. Kind of like that. And I'll add a little bit more. And I think, so I'm just going to scale this up and we're just going to put it on the strap over here. I want to kind of line that up and then we'll pull the strap in and out of it. That's the plan. Let's give this a material. And also I'll set up some seams before we get too far with this. You're just going to call you boot buckle. And let's give that an obnoxious and easy to spot later on color. I don't know, maybe something like that. Okay, I'm just going to mark seams along the bottom. Like so. Oh, that went all the way around. Excellent. I think this is good. We'll mark those. Let's run over to UV editing for a second. It's kind of what I was expecting. It's a little wonky, but I'm not too worried about it. We're probably just going to put a metal shader or something on that. So, all right, let's combine this with this. Let's come back over into here. All right, let's scale this to fit. You look a little wonky. You are a little, I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be fine. Hey, thanks for that shout out, Charles. All right, let's move you over here. Let's rotate you. Actually, let's set this back to median. It is on median. So why are you... What do I got selected? Oh, I got other stuff selected. Doey. There's my problem. Thea Street, Aceland. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been a little while. How are you doing? Unfortunately, my brain isn't pronouncing that today. I think you've probably told me an alternate name, and my brain is it's completely fallen out of it. The astral system. Oh, there you go. I'm making pirate boots. This is part of a pirate outfit. Right now, I'm fitting a buckle to the strap to make it look a little cooler. All right, now let's do this. Now I can move this. I'm going to set that right there for right now because I want to kind of just scale it until it's about the right size for that strap. And we'll just bring you down. I think you're still totally too big. I actually want to put it over here. Somewhere in here. Right about there. All right, we can scale you down a little bit more. Let's zoom in. And I'm just going to kind of rotate it around a bit till I'm happy with how it's looking. Pull it out. I want to rotate it just a little bit more, I think. I heard another noise. Why am I hearing noises? Sally Quinn Creations. Sally, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Hey, there's another dyslexic heart. There we go. Everybody, check out Sally Quinn. I was lurking her a little bit too today. She was doing. I saw a Harley Quinn drawing that looked really cool. Sally's a marvelous artist. Does body art and regular art, and games a lot. So check her out if you aren't following her already. I'm working on pirate boots. This is part of a pirate outfit I'm working on. I am currently adding a buckle. The fabric, it's just colors. I have obnoxious colors on here right now just so I can tell what my material zones are. I still have to assign some materials. And then we will take it over to Substance Painter and start adding realistic looking textures that hopefully will be cool. We are working on a sketch for canvas pieces. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to pop in and catch a little bit more of it. I'm happy with how the boots are coming along. And also here, let's just, they were in Marvelous Designer. I don't need this anymore though, because now we've moved this to Blender. So I'm going to hit save on that. And I'm going to bring up the pirate outfit. We'll do that real quick. How do I do this again? Open project. I knew that. There it is, Pirate 2026. So here's how my pirate outfit is looking so far. I've got a loose blouse that comes over the shoulders. Well, I have a vest that's loosely based off of what I saw. What's her name from What's Her Name wearing? What's Elizabeth Swann, was that it? I think I might stick with the tight pants, but I haven't quite decided. The belt still needs detailing out, and she'll get a cutlass that goes with this. And I'll need to add a hat, a tricone hat. So that's going to go. So that's all going to go there. And then right now I'm adding the boots. So sooner or later I will sell this at Daz. At least that's the plan. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Did we give you a shout out yet? We did. Thank you, Charles. Charles is the best. Okay, so anyhow, I'm adding a buckle on here. It's a simple buckle. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just going to get the strap through here. So we're going to add a, and we're just going to put a loop cut right through there. I heard a noise. I heard another noise. Oh, Raphael Freeman is now following. Thank you for the follow. I'm using StreamerBot and I like it, except for some reason I don't get my Twitch notifications in my combined chat. So I often find myself trying to figure out where my Twitch is so I can see what's happening with those. And there's a bunch of other people who came in that I didn't say hi to. Kumakwa, thank you for joining the raid. I appreciate that. The Astral System is still in the house. You got Sally Quinn and yeah, cool. All right. I'm moving. I'm going to move this up to here, like so. I did say the name right. Wow. That won't happen often. I'm going to flatten that. I'm going to flatten this. And I'm going to flatten this one. Hopefully those are flat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up a little bit better on the belt buckle. Then we're just going to put a bevel in here to smooth it out a little bit. And then I'm just going to move that a little bit more. And then I'm just going to put little bevels in here and here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to slide that a little this way. And we're going to slide that one out a little this way. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a bevel. I don't need that much. I just need something like that to smooth that curve out a little bit. And then I'm just going to do the same thing over here. And with that, I'm actually that's the modeling I want to do on the boot. Now we're going to start setting it up for, I have to assign materials, and then we're going to make sure the UVs are set up right so that we can take it and get it textured up. So let me see, what are we doing? I got to add seams, and I got to assign materials because this is all, should be different materials over here. So tab into here. Oh, I don't have anything in here for a heel cap yet. We'll add that. I'm just going to add that like so. I'm going to add a little edge detail into there. Just like that. Actually, I think I want to take that down. Oh, Kumakwa, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. We'll just slide all of these down. You know what? I'm just going to move them all down like that. And then I'm just going to grab this one little line here and scale it in to give me a little divot in there. Gonna lurk in the shadows while you watch the process. I appreciate the lurk, man. Okay, let's put we're gonna mark a seam right there. I'm gonna mark a seam. You know what? I'm just gonna mark a seam along that whole edge right there. That's a sharp. That's a clear seam. One of these days I will accidentally mark a seam. There we go. Mark a seam there. Let's see, I don't need that to be a seam, so we'll clear that one. And then I think I can Control L, and we're going to make that the boot heel cap. And then I'm going to grab that, and that becomes the boot heel. Let's see, I have my sole assigned. I have my welt, my midsole, my strap is assigned. Everything else is boot and cuff. I think I'm good to go. All right, let's go UV map and see how this is coming. Let's see what else I have to fix on here. 3AU. We'll just do that and see. Okay, I gotta clean. I need to add a little seam right there. And that's part of the cuff right over in here somewhere. Right there, that little spot right in there. We're gonna mark a seam right on that. Right there, right there, right there, right there. I can't get to it. There it is. Got it. Okay, now let's try this again. So this spreads it out for texturing purposes. That's better. Okay, now because I'm going to do 2 boots, I'm going to just UV map this to half of this. So I'm going to use my little Packmaster utility. And we're going to come over here to custom target box. And I'm going to set that to be like so. And then we'll just repack into my custom target box so that it all goes right there. And then we're going to set this up to mirror. So let's tap out. Let's do this. Come over here. Say generate a mirror. And in order to get my UVs to flip, we're going to come over here to data and click mirror UVs. So each boot will have its own set of UVs. Okay, so this is about ready. This is good. And I know it looks a little weird, it's mirrored, but I'm lazy. So we're going to live with it. Don't look too close. Okay, I'm ready to... I think I'm ready to export this and rig it to fit onto the Genesis figure in DAZ. Yeah, we'll do that. Let me hit save on this. I could also send this out for texturing. We're going to do that too. So let me come back to layout. Let's export this as an OBJ. I'm going to make sure I use my preset for that. This is going to be Seawolf Boots G9 because we're building this for the Genesis 9 character. We'll refit it to Genesis 8 later, but for right now, this is Genesis 9. And I'm going to export that. I'm also going to export a version with no materials because that's what I need for texturing and Substance Painter. Dum, 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 dum. So once again, hit the export. I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to come over here and say no materials. And actually, I'm going to set up a new folder for my substance material stuff. So we can texture that there. All right, what time is it? Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. I have another hour. Plenty of time to get this configured, rigged onto a Genesis. Although I do need to find my instructions. They're in PowerPoint. I know PowerPoint really well, so I have a bad tendency of using PowerPoint for things it wasn't really designed for. This is actually one of those things where it's kind of designed for. I sometimes use it as a notepad. Rigging shoes and DAZ, there we go. And there's the instructions that I have to follow to rig the shoes. If they're not in a flat foot. If they're in a flat foot, I don't have to do this. But we kind of have to reverse the pose in order to get the shoes to fit. So I'm going to do that. We're going to look at the feet. I'm going to switch over to that lighting mode. And then let's do the import. I want to use my import. I think it's that one. Yep, that was it. I went too far. I think I stuck you in a folder called Pirates, right? Yep, there you are. Seawolf Whip. And I want that file right there for the boots. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pose the feet to fit the boots. And I'm also going to save that as a pose. What are you? Is 20 a good number? Are you sticking out? I see the toe, but we're going to bend the toes in just a second here. All right, do the toes. So I bent the foot 20, so we're going to bring the toes back minus 20. Like so. It's sticking out just a little bit. You know what? I think I can just maybe go with minus 15. I'm just going to double check where I am with that. Yeah, I think minus 15 is going to work on that. All right, I'm going to just mirror. left to right, except that, and then I'll copy it over to the other foot. There we go. And I have a library set up for this, so I don't have to do that. We did this yesterday. So this we're going to put here in this Genesis. There's the Seawolf outfit folder. So I'm going to save the foot pose. We'll do that as a pose preset. I can use that later. Am I in the right folder? I am in the right folder. This is going to be Seawolf boots pose Genesis 9. And I just want to save the feet, so we're just going to select only the feet parts. There we go. Save that. All right, did everything come out? Let me just take a quick peek. See, there's my buckle. It looks a little janky. We're going to smooth it out later. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, back to my instructions. Where am I? Let's zoom in so I can read what I'm doing. Okay, so basically we're at the point where we've imported the shoes. So copy currently used hidden parameters. So we're going to select this, come over here, currently used. That's these things right here. Easiest way for me to copy is just to do a quick print screen. Oops. And I just crop it down to the part I need to know. There we go. Let's make that larger so I can actually read it. And back to the, what do the instructions say? You think after doing this dozens and dozens of times, I would remember it. I might be able to do this without this, but okay. Reset the JCMs. Oh, bake the joint rotations. That's next. Then reset the JCMs. So we're going to go over to rigging. And I know this is really the tedious part of designing this stuff to work for DAZ. Modeling and texturing is the fun stuff. This is the tedious stuff. The rigging and the making everything nice and pretty for a product. What am I doing? Edit baked joint rotations. That's what I'm doing. There we go. And then we come back over here and reset these values back to this 30.8. I did nothing because 30.8 and 30.8, and we're good. And what's the other one? 25, 25, and 25. All right, we're good with that part. Use the transfer utility. So that will rig the shoes to work with the figure. So transfer to utility, select the figure, select the unrigged shoes, accept that, and then it automatically sets up weight maps and rigging. Okay, 0 JCMs on the shoes. So we're going to set all of these to 0. Reverse the Genesis pose. Okay, so we're going to come to the left foot, and if I remember correctly, I could apply the pose and reverse it, but I remember that this was 20, so we're going to say minus 20, and the toes were minus 15, so we're going to say 15 on that, and then I'll just mirror that to the other side. Okay, touch up the weight maps. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to export the shoes out like this. All right, select the shoes, export. Yep, I'm in the wrong folder again. Pirates, Seawolf, Whip. I'm going to call this O2 for right now. because I don't want to overwrite the other one. I think I called that 032 or something, didn't I? It doesn't matter. All right, now I have shoes kind of fitted to a flat foot, so I'm going to bring in a new character. We're going to rig to this. So actually, we'll import in the flat sole shoes that we just set up. Use the transfer tool on this. Genesis 9 favorites 2. That one right there. I can actually use a template this time, so I'll use the footwear template and accept that. Is it done? It's done. So now when I apply our pose, you know what? I think that's going to be fine. I don't think do I need to touch that up a little bit? I think it's a little wonky, but I think that was already a little wonky. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of touch up and then we're going to save this out. So we're going to do that. I'm in the scene tab. I'm going to edit geometry and apply a smoothing modifier. And we're going to, I just did that to the wrong thing. We'll do that to these boots. And what I'm going to do is let's do that. And it's going to complain and I'm going to say yes to that. A few other things. I'm going to tweak my scene identification. I'm going to clean that up so it just says Seawolf Boots. And follower wardrobe footwear, and the rest of this is okay. Back here, edit geometry, add a smoothing modifier, and actually I don't know if I need a smoothing modifier. I might take that, but we are going to add a convert to sub D, smooths it out nicely. Oh, that's got a really funky shape in it. I'm going to take that out. I think here, let me load in the originals as a morph target and see if we can fix that. Or I might tweak it in Blender. Are you my morph target? You're my morph target thing. Choose file. Yep, I'm still in the Pirates, Seawolf, Whip, and I'm going to take the original shape and use that as a morph target. We're going to dial that in and see if that fixes this. That did not fix that. I'm going to have to fix that in... I'm just going to touch it up in Blender. I do have kind of a weird divot there. I'm going to select a bunch of this and we'll just flatten this stuff out. And we'll do it in baby steps. So I kind of want from here to here. I'm just going to try to grab around through here. And then I'm just going to scale Z0. That flattens that. And I'm just going to select this. Actually, I can just select this through here. Kind of around through here. And we'll scale that to 0, flatten that out, and then I'll just lower that a bit. And you know what? This should probably be lowered a little bit. That looks good. Okay, so we're going to resave that and update our shape with this. I think that'll be fine. Yep, all right, we're going to save you back out. Uh, um, Actually, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to save again. And we're going to overwrite this one right here. And then back in here. Now we'll update this with that new shape. So load that in as a morph target. Well, we have it dialed in, so we should see it change when we bring this in. Still has a little bit of a wonk in there. Yeah, it'll probably be fine. Okay, I'm going to reset you. I'm going to leave this dialed in. I have to turn off the high resolution though before I export this. And let's turn that off, and then let's re-export this. I'll overwrite that 02 0032 as I fat fingered it. Target exists. Would you like to replace it? Hell yeah. Okay, zero that out, and we're going to update the geometry with what we just cleaned up. That one there. Accept that. Should be good. Looks a bit better. Let's reapply our pose. Should be good. Let's reset the boot back to high resolution. Did I not? I have to redo that, don't I? Oh, it does say it's converted to sub D. You don't look like it. There we go. I'm gonna memorize. Oh, see, it's gone now. My weirdness is gone. Oh, you know what it is? It's because the smoothing modifier was causing that. I think I'm good. One other thing I want to do before I just want to put my generic shader on here, and then I'm going to save this out. And where are we going? That's the trench coat folder. I don't want the trench coat folder. I want to go to, I've been working on the trench coat folder, so everything defaults to that today. And now when I go back to the trench coat, everything's going to be defaulted to the pirate folder. C'est la vie. Genesis 9, clothing, me, Seawolf, and right here, Seawolf boots G9. And now we're ready to run over into Substance Painter and get some textures on here. Oh, you know what? I haven't given this a C. What am I calling it? Is it Seawolf? I'm doing Seawolf one word. Oh, I can't remember. I am doing Seawolf. That's a Seawold. What the hell? Damn it, Chris. That's a Seawolf. Those both say Seawolf. Let me double check what's in my content library. Did I do something that says Seawolf? Okay, maybe I'm just going blind. Well, I mean, I am going blind. That says Seawold. Okay, so I accidentally made the pose Seawold. I'll say Seawolf. Get rid of that word pose. G9. Okay, I am the vendor. This is the Seawolf product. This is Seawolf Boots G9. It is footwear. It is for the Genesis 9, and we are going to accept that. And then it's going to write a copy of that into the folder right there. Okay, I'm going to put Daz to the side for a second. And I think I'm going to hit save on this. And put you off to the side. And I don't need these instructions anymore. And I think I'm going to go ahead and close out this because I was just showing off. And now we'll open up Substance Painter and put textures on the boots. I haven't decided on my colors for this yet. I mean, black and white kind of goes without saying. Um, and I'm thinking I want something in red and maybe something in earth tones. And maybe a blue and a green. So 6 colors. He said holding up 5 fingers. I know, I know. File new. So we're going to select that version with no materials that we saved earlier. Over here, I need that now. Yay. Let's come over here and do bake the mesh maps. Got to do that. I'm not going to bake the IDs, and I don't use thickness. The rest of this is probably good, so do that and let it do its thing. And I can't see chat anymore. There we go. All right. And I'm going to bake ID maps. That's the thing that lets me put different materials on different parts of the boot. And those settings are different than the other settings. And for that, I need this copy of the boots here that has colors assigned to things. I think that buckle has a color. I might have to resave that if I don't have enough. Okay, and bake selected textures. There we go. All right, let's pop over into the window, go into paint mode. We'll start with a leather. Let me organize this so we can maybe see a little bit more of the boot. And here you have a 3D view, and over here you can kind of see the UV layout. All right, leather. So I'm going to pop over here. Leather calf grain. I'll just drop that on right off the bat. You know what? I think that's going to work. I like that. All right, we're going to tweak other things. I'm going to use different leathers on here and here. That's going to work for this and this. I'm going to put a suede leather natural color. So I'm going to put that on that portion there because that's kind of the underside unfinished. Okay, I'm going to put brass on the buckle. At least that's the plan. Take that. And then we drop it on that. I hold the control key down and it lets me drag it on and drop it onto one of my ID colors that we baked in. I've got my normal maps and my height maps blending into each other. We're going to change that. So that's smooth like that. I'm going to look up pirate boots online and kind of give a feel. I kind of have an idea what I want down here. And you know what? I think I'm going to, for this, we're going to use a dark leather and a dark leather and a different leather than this leather. And after we do that, we'll add some stitching detail. I think I might add some stitching right along the welts there. Both sides of the straps. There's probably a seam in here. I might bring stitching around here, around the back, and then we'll run a seam up the back, up to about here, with seams or stitching. I think that's the extra details for this one. Yo, Zimzalabim, how are you doing? Thanks. These are pirate boots. They're going with a pirate outfit I'm making. Everybody, check out my good friend Zimzalabim. She is an awesome artist. I'm not actually drinking out of your mug, but I do love it. I keep it well within arm's reach. It's in my regular mug rotation. Cutting out stickers. Oh, cool. So are you printing your own stickers? Is that it? You get your own sticker sheets and print them that way? Or you have to order them up and they come uncut? I know, I think if I do them on Redbubble, they get them cut. Yep, you're printing your own. Nice. You have a store too, don't you? So, you want to drop a link to your Instagram and store and stuff if you want to. No pressure if you don't want to. That's perfectly fine too. I'm looking for leathers though. I'm going to put a different type of leather on the bottom than we have on the top here. So I'm going to, and I want one different one for the sole, and maybe I'll just stick that on the cap. Leather ruff. Do I want that? You know what? I think I'm going to go with that. And we'll also put that on the heel cap as well. And then maybe leather damaged on the heel. I don't think so. Let's try maybe one of these worn. I'm not warming up to that. You should see the food. Yeah. I imagine. No Instagram, delete the whole thing. Social media is kind of garbage, but here's the Ko-fi page. There you go. Buy Zim shit. Buy Zim's shit. Super cool artist. I think you were number 3 on my most watched last year. All because Chris religiously raids you on Mondays, so it makes it easy for me to catch your streams. And you still have a fourth wall? I just got a fourth wall because Charles recommended I should. Not that I know what to do with it yet. He's recommending I should somehow tie it into stream, but I haven't quite got that far yet. And I'm still looking for other leather textures. Maybe I will try. I don't like that. Is that? Maybe I will use that. We'll try this. Let me. So here, let's come over here. And let's also put that on here. And I'm going to put it right. Oh, those two colors are so similar. It applied to both of them. And I think I'm going to make this darker. And I think that's going to be... Then when I'm going to add a little bit of highlight and shadow to this. Okay, so what do we got here? There's the leather base for the sole. What are our other options over here though? Yeah, that'll be fine. Do I get a color? I got a color. Yeah, we're just gonna make that dark. I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm thinking. All right, I have a highlighter and a shadow that adds just a subtle bit more contour than what we have here. Highlights and shadows. I'm just going to drop that on there. And it's so subtle you probably didn't even notice it. I'm barely seeing that come through. It's funny, some days that's too strong and other days I don't even see it. I think that'll be fine. And then we of course will set up for the dirty version. So we can add dirt and make dirt versions of it. So this is good. So I've got my brown. I'm going to turn the dirt off. I'm going to leave that on. Oh yeah, let's add stitching. I'm going to put a paint layer in here, right about here. And I'm going to group these together and call it sole. Sole, heel and sole. We'll do that. And then I think I can put I'm going to add a huge saturation and lightness filter to that. So that could kind of change the color on that and lighten and darken it. If I have to. I'm going to reset those back to the normal though. It'll come in handy with the white and the black versions. I can kind of desaturate them and make them lighter and darker. Same thing with this. I'm going to put a hue and saturation filter on that. And that's this one here. Actually, I'm going to duplicate this layer. Let's duplicate that and then put the hue and saturation filter on there. Add a filter. There we go. Hue, saturation, lightness. And we're basically going to desaturate that. And then for the white version, I'm going to lighten it up. And for the black version, we'll take it down. So I'm going to duplicate that and set it up for light and dark. And I'm thinking I might do red velvet. red velvet is kind of speaking to me today. What am I doing? I'm duplicating that layer. So this is going to be the one that'll be lighter, but not quite white. And then, so here, let me make a group out of this. And that'll be white. And let's make a group out of that. This is going to end up being, I think we'll make that one the black. Let's make a group out of you. Actually, I can make a group out of you too. You're going to be brown. Let's duplicate you. Actually, I'm not going to duplicate. I'm going to duplicate this one. That'll be the red. Okay, red's going to have velvet. Red velvet, there we go. I'm going to just put it on there. Yeah. I like the look of this, except it leans a little on the weird orange side for me. So we're going to put a hue and saturation filter on that and tweak the color a bit. He said not remembering how to do a filter anymore, which he just did a minute ago. Okay, so I'm going to just crank that saturation up to obnoxious. Where are you? Actually, I want you up here. I put you on the wrong thing. I want you right there. Okay, now we crank you up to obnoxious. And I think I want to slide this. That's about. All right, let's take that down and maybe darken it a little. That's going to be our red boot. Oh, and you need to be. We're going to move you over here to the red group. And this, we're going to make that kind of a gold color, I think. So I'm going to run that saturate. There we go. That may be a little high. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to put. I've copied this, didn't I? I did not. I need to copy the heel and sole. Time for dinner for the family. Hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate you sticking with the raid and the follow. Hey, have a good dinner. And of course, my brain has stopped after that. Here we go. I'm going to copy the heel and sole. Actually, let's take the heel and sole and drag it down to here for right now. And then I can make a Control D duplicate of that. And I'll add that to the red group. And I want a copy of this calf grain leather here. And I'm going to drag that up to the red group. And I need to put I only want that on this strap. So we're going to just add a mask with a color selector and just put it right on the strap. And I'm going to actually kind of make that a red looking kind of leather. Come down to the base. Bring you in. You know what? Are you changing it all? A little bit. So for the red one, I want this to be gold. There's some stuff going on here. Is it? What's getting in my way? I think that might work. Although maybe make that a little darker still. I think that'll work. Okay, I like that heel and sole, so I'm going to stick with that one. So I'm going to leave that as is. And for this, instead of brass, we're going to go with the gold. So let's get a gold in here. I'll just take that gold armor and we'll just apply it to that right there. And then I'm just going to drag this and stick it into the red group. And brass polish. I'm going to stick that in here with the brown group. and heel and sole. I'm going to make a copy of that. And I want a copy of that over here in the white group. And then I want another copy of that for the brown group. So let's do that. Okay, so, okay, what happened here? I'm getting weird seams. We're going to see if that actually exports out or not. You know, everything was working fine until I touched something, right? You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a black fill there in the very back and see if that just sort of fills in those seams. Yeah, we'll just do that. All right. I think my red group is okay. So let's turn that off. Let's take a look at the white. I don't have a leather in here. I think I'm going to use... And what am I going to use with the black? Am I going to do black and silver and black or gold? Or black and brass? I haven't decided yet. Anyhow, let's come over here and get that calf grain leather. Oops, I fat fingered something. Let's drag you up into the white. Let's stick you in the back here. And let's tweak the color on that. And for white, we always just do like a light gray. I think that's good. I'm going to desat. Do I have a... I do have a in here, so we're just going to desaturate that. And do I want to lighten that up a little bit? I think I'm going to do that. I think this will be, and then we'll put a steel or silver. You know what? I'm just going to put a silver on there. And maybe I'll just do the same thing with the black. Okay, like I did before, we're going to set the height and the bump map so that we're not getting the underlayers bleeding through. Where did you go? You're over here. Let's put you down into here. So height is normal. My normal map is normal. Oh, so the steel really looks like that? Okay. I think those are going to be the white boots. So let's work on the black boots. So same thing. I don't have in this. We're going to desaturate that, but keep it dark. And then we'll take the leather calf grain, duplicate that. Drag that over here to black. Move it to the back of the black group right about there. And we're going to tweak the color on that. So for black, we always just do a really dark gray. And I think I'm just going to duplicate the silver. I'm just going to grab this and move it over here. Black. There we go. Collapse you. Collapse you. So I think I've got my 4 major colors I want to do for boots. Did I set up a brown in here? Oh, you know what? These, I think, need to be in here. There we go. All right, real quick, let's take a quick look at. So we have our brown. Although that's not working. Oh, I have my leather turned off. There we go. That's what I wanted that to look like. And are you brass? You look like you're brass. Okay. Got my black. Got my white. Got my velvety red. I want to tweak this a little bit further, I think. There we go. There. This color right here. Or you got a hue and saturation on you, don't you? I think it's just a matter of desaturating and darkening it a bit. It's being a little weird, isn't it? It really doesn't want to update that properly, does it? There, that works better. Not really. I think that might do the trick. I think I'm going to go with that. All right. Have I saved you yet? I have not saved you. We still have 19 minutes before 9 o'clock when I call it a night. Um, I'm going to get some of these exported and applied to the boots. I think the hero texture is going to be the brown. But first, let's do file save as and pirate Seawolf whip, and I'm going to put you over here in substance. Seawolf boots. Let's do that. All right. Now I'm ready to crank these textures out. But I think I'll just do one of them and then we'll look at the outfit. We'll pop over to Marvelous Designer after I get one of these texture sets on. And I want to add some detailing to the belt. I eventually will have to model a buckle in Blender, but for right now, we'll do a little bit more work on the belt in Marvelous Designer. I haven't quite decided how I want to do the belt just yet. Although I'm having kind of an idea. Part of me is thinking of doing it like a girdle. Anyhow, let's turn the red off. Let's turn the brown on. Control Shift E. Let's export you. 4K. Let's use my 5-channel preset so that we're going to do a color channel, a metallicity channel, a roughness channel, height, and also a normal channel. And I know those are kind of redundant, but I do them anyhow. All right, open up output directory. I'm going to have you say brown. Actually, let's have all of this say brown. and apply that, and that renames my 5 files. I'll cut those, and we are looking for, I need another Explorer projects. Once again, Pirates, Seawolf, Runtime, Textures, me, Seawolf. Let's put a Seawolf Boots folder in here. Oh, once again, I typed Seawold. Oh, that reminds me, I got to rename that pose. All right, let's go take a look at the boots and Daz. Before I forget, let me rename that so it doesn't say Seawold anymore. There it is, rename. Seawolf is good. Now we'll just come over here to surfaces, and we're just going to drag and drop these into here. So I do have metallicity on here, so I do need that map. So I put that there on the metallicity. Base color comes into base color. Height map, I'm going to put into the bump channel. Normal map, I'll put over here into the normal channel. Let's try that again. Did it stay? It stayed that time. And then we'll put the roughness into the glossy roughness. And come over here. Oh, the color didn't stay. Dangity dang it. Let's try that again. That's better. Let's do a quick render and see how we're looking. That's not too bad. That pose needs a little bit of work to flatten those out a little. Or did I just not line the heel up? Is that what my problem is? I could see me doing that. Yeah, that heel doesn't line up. There's my problem. We can fix that. We're going to update that geometry again. There'll be a little bit of stretching in the UVs, but nobody's going to really notice that. There, let's try this. Is this all good? All right. Let's update. There we go. Oh no. I did that wrong. That's okay. We can fix it. I have the technology. I done broke it good. We're gonna load it in as a morph target, dial it in, flatten out the pose, export that, and then re-update the geometry. Yeah, that's the way I should have done it. Choose a morph file. There we go. Bring that in. And let's come over here and actually in here and then dial that back in. And then we'll just reset that. Select the boots. Set the resolution back to base. Turn the smoothing off. Export is the 32 file. All right. Reset and then reload in. And updated base shape. That's much better. See, that's the way it's supposed to be. Now I got the heel. Yeah, we're going to live with that. All right. I'm going to resave this, and now it has the textures on it. Overwrite that. Yep. Is all this good? Item name. I lost my item name. Oh no. What were you? I have to go take a look at my data folder just to make sure I'm getting the right name. So in here is the hidden world of the data folders. You are Sea Wolf Boots, G9. It should work. Vendor name is Chris Cox. Product name is Sea Wolf. Content type. Man, you got all screwed up. What have I got the right thing selected in here? I don't have the right thing selected. I had the Genesis 9. I should have known. Now I've got the right thing selected. This should. That track's better. Although I've stuck it in the wrong folder. Rest of that should be fine. Which means in my data folders, I don't need that thing that says Seawold. That's wrong. I'm just going to delete it. And Seawolf now has the boots in it. Should be good. Okay, so we got a good start on the boots. Let's go take a look at... I've got 9 minutes. Let's take a look at the belt. I'm going to a little bit more detail it, and then we'll call it a night. We'll find somebody really cool to raid. It's Tuesday. I'm not sure who's on. I think it's Tuesday. It was this morning. Happy National Cold Cuts Day. I'm going to hit save on this. I'm going to come over to Substance Painter. I'm going to hit save on this. I'm going to export out the other color variations, and we're also going to do color or dirty versions of those as well. So anyhow, we'll shut you down. Come back over to... I don't have Marvelous Designer open. We'll open up Marvelous Designer. I think I might put buckles on the back and kind of make it like a girdle is what I'm starting to think of for the belt. And I'm going to want to add an attachment point where I can stick a scabbard on there. So let's open up the pirate outfit. I don't know. Let me... Actually, I may not get anything else done on this because I'm going to just do research. So I'm going to look at pirate girdles. Pirate apparel, belts. Hopefully it's not a porn site. It's an Amazon site. pirate fashions, corset bottom, waist cinchers. Maybe a waist cincher. Do you actually show anything, or you just say you don't actually show any pirate wench garb? Uh, you have blouses. You don't actually. What the hell? Yeah, you suck. You know, you aren't actually showing anything. You just get like a list of stuff that you should have. I don't want a Walmart pirate costume. Are you kidding me? You know what? Let's go to images. You know, something cool like this is kind of what I was thinking. Hey, where's your sense of adventure? My sense of adventure has a lot with me coming back tomorrow or Thursday. Let's see what else we got. I don't know. I kind of like that, although I'll probably design it a little bit different. That's not a chastity belt. It's just a girdle. So what I might do. So maybe I'll do something like. I'm not crazy about. I like the idea of a big. You know what? I think I'm going to do leather, and then we'll put a big belt buckle and belt on it. That points to the right, doesn't it? Or is the camera flipped? So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to round the corners on mine, and I think I'm going to add a big strap in the middle. Your mind's always in the gutter, Rod. It's not just tonight. We've seen your Rosity page. You can't fool us. Um, I think that's what I'm going to do. What are you? That's interesting. I'm not gonna. Yeah, no. I think I'm. Maybe I'll do a double belted thing. I think I'm gonna do that. I'll run a couple of belts across. I think I did one where I did three. Did I do three or did I do two? Oh, I can't even remember now. And this has got big bands. I like these big bands. I'll do a couple big bands, one big band. We'll run belts across here. I'll do the. See, this one's got it going this way too. See, that's got four. I'm going to do three. One on each side and one in the back. I know, I've ratted you out, man. It's like Kingdom Hearts meme with too many zippers. Add a lot of belts now. Yeah, at least it's not pouches. All right, I think I'm going to do. We'll do this. And actually, I really don't have a lot of time. I'm going to set this up. I'm going to set up some bands in here that we will run belts on. And I think maybe I'll plot to put some straps across here. So let's do um, offset internal line along a curve. And I'm going to want to do something like that and accept that. And then we're going to put our belts through here. And then I'm going to add I think I'm going to add an internal line in here. I'm going to put these, you know what, let's say 20 on that. And then right about here, actually right about in here, or maybe I should put one, if I put one here, I can, no, I'm just going to put my sword attachment in here. And I'm going to just kind of put a janky little, we're going to hang it off of a rigid follow node, I think. So I will put, let's do right about in there, except I can't see that, so we'll put you right about there. So I'm going to take this and we'll just drag that through there. Then I'm just going to add an internal line for 40 the other way. So I'm going to have belts here, and then I'm going to have these straps that go over them here. I think with that, I'm going to call it a night. So I got a little bit more. Actually, one thing I do want to do is I want to take the curve out of this. We'll do that and then call it a night. So I'm just going to delete those. I want to have just a little more material that'll get bunched up in here. Kind of like that. I like that a little bit better. It gives me a little more shape on that vest. And then with that, so Thursday, we'll be looking at making the hat and maybe the sword. I'll see if I'm trying to get a trench coat finished in the meantime. I want that to stop rolling underneath. That's what I want. This is going to have buttons running down the front. Anyhow, let's hit save on that. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Uwu official. I appreciate the raid, man. It was awesome seeing Josh here tonight. The robot. Josh is participating in the March of Robots. Different robot props every day. So check out our good friend Josh Uwu over at Uwu. How does this work? Uwu, is Uwu still here? There it is. Uwu co-official. Also, Sally Quinn Creations dropped me a raid too. I really appreciate that too. Sally is another awesome artist. Does body painting, does regular drawing and stuff, and does a lot of gaming, and has a cool community to hang out with. Really a warm place over there at Sally's. So check out Sally Quinn too if you get a chance. I highly recommend both of these creators. Josh has movie nights on Saturday, which I love to check out. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Hey, if you're on YouTube, I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. That would always be awesome. If you're on Twitch, we are going to find somebody to go hang out with. So if you can stick around for the raid, that would be awesome. Hey, check out my mod Charles there. He doesn't actually stream, but he does have a cool Discord. If I have not safe for work stuff to post online, I will probably stick it over in Charles's Discord. He does have it's it's not porn, but it's not safe for work. Some of that stuff over there. Yeah, thanks for being here, y'all. It looks like Zerastana is still streaming. If I hurry, all right. Let's see who's on. She did raid me the other day, so let's do that. Let's go over and catch Zerastana. Dum dum dum. Hold on. That's YouTube. I don't want YouTube. I want Twitch. That looks like Twitch. Smells like Twitch. Tastes like Twitch. It's probably YouTube. Infozar is on, but I think we'll say hi to our cross stitching friend tonight, Cyrus Dana. Uh, all cross stitching all the time, except for a couple of special streams. I think during the holidays, she goes checks out the Christmas lights on Christmas Day. She does retro gaming, and then I think maybe she does something special for Halloween. But other than that, it's all cross stitching over with our friend Cyrus Dana. So if you could stick around for the raid, that would be awesome. And let me give some raid calls. If you can join us, that would be great. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to copy that raid call. If you are a subscriber, you can use the sub raid call. Hey, I have a Discord. Feel free to join. We do a Saturday night social. If you drop stuff in the gallery, we share it on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, I sell stuff at Daz. If you're in the Daz Studio and you're looking for clothes, consider my shop over there at Daz Studio. This outfit I've been working on tonight will eventually be at Daz. Um, maybe April, maybe May. We'll see how. Uh, I, it's just taking them longer and longer to get products into the marketplace over there. It's just annoying. Anyhow, check out that. So let's do this. Slash raid control V Zaire stand. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a good rest of a National Cold Cuts Day. And hasta la vista, baby.